Hey, what's up guys? This special show is brought to you by Flamewood Creative, and I am your host today, Kyle. As we all know that most businesses are badly affected by COVID-19. Some are stuck and unable to move ahead, while some are struggling just to survive. And we are here today to have these Zoom sections to actually learn together from our special guests and discuss what we actually can do. So it's my pleasure today to have conversation with Mr. David Wong, the former advisor to Tupperware Corporation in Asia Pacific and is managing director for Tupperware brands in Southeast Asia region. And Tupperware is an American iconic brand and household name which many associate with any food containers. So in Malaysia and Singapore alone, it is a close to $500 million revenue business. So, hi, Mr. David Wong. How are you today?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good day.
Okay, it's really happy to have you today. So, the first question I would love to ask you is that, Mr. David, in your opinion, why are some businesses stuck? And what is the most critical thing for them to focus on at this moment?
The most critical things that business need to focus on over the next 6 to 12 months is on the cash flow. The focus is not on sales or profit. As you know, the business is very down and everybody is very cautious with spending. So the most important critical thing to focus on is cash flow. If you have the cash flow, you can sustain your business and ensure the continuity of your business. So cash flow is critical. And in talking about cash flow, is important, especially most entrepreneurs, they manage on the run. It's important for at this point in time for them to sit down and work hard on a cash flow projection and a statement, working out both the best case scenario and the worst case scenario, how long that cash can last them, so that the business can continue. And then look for ways and means to unlock cash. For example, you have excess inventory and sell them off at a high, deep discount, even if at cost or below cost, just to have cash so that you can pay for your operating expenses and address and take care of your fixed costs.
When you were managing the Tupperware business, right, you have experienced challenges and crises like the SARS virus. So how did you actually respond to those situations and continue to see Tupperware have steady growth?
In business, you always have to look at the possibilities, to think increase, see increase, and to hear increase, rather than to look at the problems. Problems, in fact, are opportunities. So we need to look at possibilities, how to turn these adversities into opportunities. Big fish are caught in turbulent water, so we need to see where are the opportunities to be creative, to be innovative at this point in time. In 1998, when there was a financial meltdown, everybody was very cautious about spending. So we gather our staff together and brainstorm, come up with a campaign called I Save with Tupperware campaign. So we come up with different ideas on how to save money, concrete specific recommendation, how they can save money by buying in bulk, how they can save time if they cook and keep in this Tupperware and then they don't have to waste more time, and how to avoid wastage is to save. So the whole concept of saving, and then we of course give some promotional offers and discount and make it like a sales campaign. And you know what? Instead of a downturn, we did extremely well during this period because of this promotion. Another thing we did was in the year 2003, there was a SARS virus. We came up with the idea of focusing on education. So we conduct a lot of workshop and seminar on hygienic way of storing and preparing food. And that again really helped us because it built confidence. And when people have confidence and trust in your brand and your product, they will buy your product. Talking about social media and For example, I have a friend who was very good in doing this. He's very smart. He wrote a simple article and focused on education using digital marketing. And he write this short little article that's education and say, save 250,000 and your mother's life. He was actually writing from his own experience where his mother died of cancer, and he has to mortgage his house for 250,000 just to help his mother with his medication. And he did this very short, poignant, to the point, and he did this for his insurance company, and he gets so many leads that more than payback for what he did. So if you can bring some educational angle into your digital marketing endeavor, it will really help.
I actually observe at a personal level that many are crippled by fears and worries. Do you have any advice on how people actually can overcome their fears?
I think even worse than the coronavirus is the fear virus. Fear really cripples somebody. When we are afraid, your creative energy, your positive energy is drained and sapped, and therefore you cannot contribute. So we need to choose faith over fear. The first thing to do, I would recommend to overcome fear is to shut out all the rubbish. Let me ask you, would you allow people to throw rubbish into your house?
Of course not.
Of course not. Yeah, but every day, in fact, every hour, we allow people to throw rubbish into our mind through the social media. Yeah, we are so consumed. We were trying to find out what's the latest about the COVID, how many new cases, how many die, and then what's the latest discovery that COVID is going to spread even more, and that the adverse impact is going to be 10 times more. And we read this, it doesn't help us at all. So my first advice is to shut out all this negative news, all this rubbish input. Don't allow people to throw rubbish into our mind, to shut this out. In fact, the Bible says God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and sound mind. You need to have a sound mind in order to be creative, to be productive. The first input into our emotion, into our soul, is the mind. So we need to guard what comes into our mind. Secondly, we need to speak life. Not only we must not see and hear bad news, we must also not speak bad news. If you speak bad news to others, you discourage others. But if you speak life, you speak positive things, you encourage others. And therefore, together, we can move forward. So if we can help people overcome fears, that is very critical. Yeah. And also now is a time for a company to live out their values. Many companies have lots of nice values, like value statement on the wall, but they don't really practice what they put that looks nice on the wall. So it's a good time to live out your values. So one of my clients I work with, they have values that we treat everyone as family. And so I thought it's very good. I said, now it's the time to live out your values. And the boss agreed that they will send rice and canned food to all their lower level staff. And I said, if you do that, you will really reassure them that you're taking care of their needs. And you will see after COVID, the tremendous amount of loyalty and trust they will have in the company. And you generate a lot of new level of positive energy that you never thought of before.
I think business are really for people, really to benefit humanity. So I think this is the real time that the businesses are there to benefit humanity.
Right. Yes.
Do you have any advice for people who felt difficult working at home?
That's a very good question, because a lot of people find that it's very difficult to work at home. You get distracted, and then you might have children crying, needing attention. So working at home, you need some discipline. I would suggest that if you can make your work at home as routine as possible, like in the office. And then the second thing is the environment. If you can, you do have a room where you can operate separately, or a little corner can operate separately. Like in a workplace, do that. Rather than work, say, from a lounge where you're tempted to watch the television, distraction, cut off all those distractions. For bosses, I think working from home is also an opportunity for the bosses to reevaluate how you manage staff. We should change from the idea of trying to supervise activities to asking the staff for outcomes. Don't just try to worry about how long hours the staff keep, or what are the things they do, managing the activities, whether they come on time, go off on time, but rather trust them. and empower them and manage the outcome. What's their contribution? So to shift the focus from activities to outcomes, and that will build longer term trust, and everybody will have ownership of the business.
Yeah, I think feeling belonging is very important as employee now.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So it's a good time. It's a good time to change your business philosophy and approach, rather than the old school of hard-nosed leader. Is more inviting people to participate in and empowering them. You as a leader, you can inform people what to do. Nowadays, young people don't want just to inform, but you can not only inform, you can also include them. Well, you can include, but they may still not be involved. So you need to inform, include, and involve them so that they feel ownership and then participate in the accomplishment of the goals and the vision for the company.
Here comes a fourth question. What other key actions can businesses, especially SMEs, undertake in planning for their business to better prepare for future recurrence of similar crises?
Okay, business is a cycle. So while you want to do a lot of the different creative ideas for short-term action plans in order to keep your business sustainable, keep the business continuity going, the COVID will come and the COVID will go. So it is also time for us to focus on the intermediate tech plans, not long-term plans, but intermediate plans. This is a tremendous opportunity. If you cannot focus on selling, you can focus on the upgrade of your operating landscape, how to upgrade your deliveries. For example, I think of skills development. This is a good time to invest in developing their skills, upgrading their latest skills base. There's a lot of courses online that you can learn. Another is system upgrade. Upgrade your system so that you build capacity. So first is to build capabilities, then also expand the capacity so that when the post-COVID comes around and the business take up, you are ready to capture the growth of the business that can perhaps compensate for what you have lost now. And then the other thing is the service upgrade. Some companies they get by with a minimum of the service. Perhaps now you're operating at a 1-star service. And now is the time to conduct training online and also through Zoom. You can really help the staff upgrade so that when they pass COVID, you can upgrade from 1-star to 3-star, even 5-star service. For the longer term, you might also want to review your entire business model. For example, I know of an engineering company that I'm consulting with. They are quite a small, medium-sized company with about 40 staff. They only have 2 salespeople, and they have about 5 or 6 finance people, and the rest are all on the floor. So I say now's the time for you. The majority of staff could be refocused to focus on sales and marketing. You'd be surprised. Some of the people have talents, even in engineering and on the shop floor level, that we have not been able to tap into their potential. When I was running the Indonesian business in my regional role, I found that one of my finance accountant is very personable. So I suggested to her, would you want to try going to sales? Sales, obviously, they get paid commission and bonus, which is more than a finance person. She said she would try. And then after 1 year, she became our top sales managers. Today, she's my sales director in Tupperware, Indonesia. As a result of this adversity, it became a tremendous opportunity. We were able to maximize the potential and uncover talents that we did not know before. So it's a time to re-engineer your organization and to refocus them on what they can really do. Yeah. Now's a good time to simplify your business. To look at areas where you can cut down, where you can cut down processes. Sometimes in the course of business, we develop reports that is really not necessary, or we have a lot of meetings that's not necessary. Now it's time to find ways and means to simplify and cut down all this. Remove the things that we've been carrying along for years that it's not contributing. Stop doing those things. Simplify things. That is amplify. Business will survive if you have a brand differentiation. Yeah. And then now's the time to amplify your brand difference. Why would people continue to buy from you or get your service other than pricing? Otherwise everybody will compete on pricing. Then you just provide commodity products and services. now it's time to do a differentiation. For example, doing this video, you can add value to your customers. A video or some aid or some support or some recommendation for your clients. You really add value to your customers at this point in time where they need all the help. So creative ideas that you give out through the video like such as this. It's a tremendous way to amplify their different. Their brand is different. Their approach to their suppliers, to customers is different. You amplify what is your strength. Yeah. And finally, multiply. When you simplify, you can multiply. I was telling about the engineering company where they re-engineer and refocus their engineering stuff to sales. You can amplify what is really important. Simplify, amplify, and multiply. And that will help you to move forward.
This is really powerful. So once again, thank you, Mr. David. These are really useful and practical tips. So guys, I hope that you have grabbed some nuggets today. So I personally had a great time learning from Mr. David throughout this interview. And I hope that the same for you. My friends out there who also long for all these tips. Again, I just want to recap on, let's work on the intermediate plans for post-COVID-19. I think the first one would be skill development. The second, system upgrade. Third one, service upgrade and training. Number 4, re-engineer. And number 5, review your business model. So guys, we really hope these tips can spark you right away. So put into actions and just do it. Okay, so we appreciate if you would just hit the like button and give us some comments below. Also, any topics that you would like us to share in the next video, feel free to drop in some suggestions so that we can continue to interact with you more. Also, do check out some other videos in our channel, and please stay tuned to our next show. Lastly, take care, stay safe, and stay home, everyone. See you.
God bless.